Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Deep Six Podcast, coming to you from somewhere just outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you couldn't tell already, I'm your host, Steven Spivak, joined once again by my very wonderful co-host, Mr. Matt Barnes. Matt, how are you?
Thanks, Steve. I'm happy to be here from my house.
And Dan is absent today, but that doesn't matter because we've got a very eccentric individual to talk to today.
I'm so happy.
Joining us on the phone is the current backyard wrestling entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mark. Xtreme, current and undefeated backyard wrestling entertainment champion, 15 plus years. Steven, if you're going to do an introduction for a champion, you got to do it that way. So I urge you to try my introduction one more time, please.
Steve, go ahead. Re-roll that, please.
All right, so let's.
I just demand more respect for our guests than what you just gave, and
thank you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm on your side, and I expect more from Steve than that too. So please, Steve.
Yeah. Okay.
So
just put a little more effort into it again, Steven. Thank you.
So joining us today on the phone, we have the current backyard wrestling entertainment champion and the host of the On Your Mark show on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, the self-proclaimed king of backyard style, Mr. Mark E. Xtreme himself. Mark, how are you?
That was pretty good. I won't say that I'm self-proclaimed because it's a fact. When it's a fact that you are something, you don't even have to be self-proclaimed because it's a well-known fact. I am the king of not only backyard entertainment, not backyard wrestling, because what we do is entertainment. So, I am the king of wrestling, and, I dare someone to tell me different. I'm doing good, guys. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a real pleasure for me. I mean, wow, 15 years. That's got to be a record, right?
Yeah. I would say that 15 plus years undefeated definitely has beaten some records. I don't know anybody in wrestling that even holds a toe to that. But, somebody's got to do it. And some people have heroes, and some people, I'm the champion.
So Mark, who was it that you actually defeated to take the championship in the first place?
15 plus years ago, it was probably who was it? It's been so long. I think it might have been Gary the King Baller. Him and I had a really good 3-hour Ironman match, and we put it was back when I was like 15, so I really don't remember. I've had so many matches since then, but so many great legendary matches that I'm sure you guys have seen. What's one of your favorite matches that you've seen of yours truly, Marky Xtreme?
Can't say that there is one. We tried to do a little
because there's so many of them.
Well, we tried to do a little research on you before getting you on the show here, and it's
I think it's better when I think of your top matches to organize it into like a top 50 rather than to try to think of like a top 5.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Let me ask you, what's your favorite match that you've ever competed in?
You know what? I'll answer that with saying it hasn't happened yet, because you know what? Though I've had some definite 6-star matches, some people said the stupid Kenny Omega match recently was a 6-star match, but you know what? I would definitely say most of my matches are 6-star. I've had many 6-star matches, but the one match that I've yet to have that I would enjoy the most would be against, John Cena, because not only would it be a match, it would be a homicide because I'd probably kill him.
All right. So you would murder John Cena in front of thousands of people?
I'm not saying that I'd murder him because I really legally don't want to say that. But what I would say is that I would beat him senseless because you may know this already, but I can't stand John Cena. He's lame. He's pathetic. He's just everything I can't stand about wrestling, and I'm everything opposite of him. And it would just that would be the best match because I'd put a period in the sentence of John Cena.
Now, if I might interject for a second, what exactly led to your feud with John Cena?
Well, it's been a growing hatred, I would say, ever since he debuted. There's just been something that can I cuss on this show?
Go for it.
He's been so fucking stupid since he debuted that I can't stand him. He's lame. The muscles are fake. Everything about him is fake, corny, stupid. And he makes me cringe. Okay, I watch some cringe compilations on YouTube sometimes and just wonder why Cena matches aren't in there, because I just can't stand the man.
I read somewhere in a blog once. I think it was Meltzer that, and I don't know if you read this too, that he got butt cheek implants.
I wouldn't doubt it. Someone like him do fairy stuff like that all the time. And you know what? It's just a tragedy that someone like him has been heralded as like such a big thing. Oh, big deal. But let me ask you this: is he holding a belt right now?
No, there's not even one holding his pants up.
That's right. And that doesn't make any sense, because my dad always said, you got pants on, you better have a belt on, or I'm gonna beat you. But so John Cena is just, I could go on for days of why I don't like him, why I don't understand why the industry has praised him so much. The core of it is just he's an idiot, and he's lame, and I'm the real, and that's it.
I can't dispute any of that at all.
I can't say that I could either. So if you were to get this, do we want to call it a dream match with John Cena? Where, under what stipulations would you prefer to have it?
God, that's a great question.
Is there a murder match? Because I'd like to have that. No, realistically, I understand, murder in wrestling can't happen yet. I'm working on the legalities of having a murder match in Backyard Wrestling Entertainment.
If you take them to Japan.
Yeah, we might have to do it. If that's what it takes to have a murder match, then I'll go to Japan. I'm open to traveling anywhere outside of my county to wrestle if the opportunity arises. But if it was any match, to wrestle John Cena, it would probably be I can't have a damn gun match, barbed wire death match, some kind of death match, just so I can do everything as close to death as I can to him.
I'm just going to throw an idea at you, and I'm spitballing here, and just throw something back at me, whatever you think, and we'll just go from there. 10-step duel with John Cena.
What's that again? My phone broke up. I'm on a track phone.
10-step duel with John Cena. 10 steps turn crossbows.
Crossbows?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
That's
not a bad idea. Because the thing is with that is, like, it's gruesome, but you might survive. So the entertainment factor would be there, and I would get the satisfaction of bringing Cena to near death, but not complete death. So, yeah, crossbow match is not a bad idea.
I know, I like it. Now, in the meantime, I just wanted to check my facts a little bit myself, and I looked up who some of the longest title reigns in wrestling history were, and the only person who even remotely comes close to you was Vern Gagne, who held the AWA championship for 4,677 days, and that was one of his 10 title reigns. That's 12 years.
Yeah, you know what? Someone like, how do you even say his name?
Vern Gagne. Yeah, Gagne.
Yeah, Vern Gagne, whatever. These old school has-been dudes, they can't stand toe-to-toe with anybody like me, and you know what, is he alive or dead? I don't even know who this guy is.
I don't think he knows, if that counts for anything.
Yeah, exactly. So, it doesn't matter. No one has come close to my reign. Nobody ever will, and nobody ever can, because I will never lose this title, no matter where I go. If I end up in Impact Wrestling, as things are leaning towards, I will take the title with me, and as the way it should, I will take control of my creative, and nobody will beat me.
And I just thought, as a credit to you, to our audience, I wanted to put it into historical significance, just how important you are to the business.
What's that? Are you asking me how important I am?
No, I just wanted to frame it for the audience, for our listeners, just how important you are.
thank you for finally, or thank you. I'm just glad that somebody finally respects or gives respect where the respect is due.
No, I get it. I know Steve doesn't, but I do.
Hey,
Steve's an idiot.
That seems to be a recurring theme on this show, is how apparently I'm such an
Yeah,
idiot.
well, I get it. You know what, Steve? You have somebody like me on your show, and you give them a half-assed intro and say that he's a self-proclaimed backyard wrestling legend. You should reevaluate yourself in your life, and maybe instead of waking up tomorrow, just maybe stay asleep.
It's a little bit harsh, but it's not the worst advice I ever heard.
You know, Mark, I'm trying to be professional here. I did invite you to come and do this show as a service to you to help promote your upcoming season.
Service to me. As a service to me.
To help promote your upcoming season of On Your Mark, which
yeah, we'll get there. But do you know what I stopped doing right now to come and be on your show to help your show out? I was in the middle of teaching a shake weight class, okay, and those happen once a week, and I make a decent pay doing my shake weight tutorial classes. So you know what? I'm taking time out of my day to come on your show and help your show out. You're not helping me. I'm helping you, Steven.
And I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, let's talk about the second season coming up here of On Your Mark.
Okay. Let's do that. So it's been years in the making, and you know what? I'm a champion, and a lot of people have been like, why is it taking so many years to get out the second season? Well, you know, I put on shows. We've been putting out other videos. And, you know, just things like this take time. But February 15th, 2017, the second season begins, and we've got some really big guests. We've got Eli Drake, Ethan Carter, Matt Morgan, Blue Pants. You know, the list goes on, and the teaser is on our YouTube channel right now. And, you know, it's really exciting to get back into the seat of, just one of my projects that I work on. I have many, but the thing I'm most excited about is just to sit down with my boys. You know, the guys that I had given them the opportunity to sit down and talk to a champion. It just feels really good to get back to the hot seat, so to say.
So you mentioned a lot of great names there coming up in the second season. So far, you've been to 2 WrestleCons where you've talked to an insane amount of I don't want to call them legends of somebody next to somebody of your stature.
Sure.
But you've talked to many known wrestlers, and you've got some pretty interesting content up there. For example, who was it? Brian Knobbs. He put you in Pity City.
Yeah. That didn't go as I had anticipated, but the video is unfortunately on my YouTube channel, and that's from WrestleCon 2015, I believe. But yeah, Brian Knobbs put me in Pity City. I have vomited profusely after that clip, and but I really enjoy going to the WrestleCons. It's a chance for me to give back to the fans that helped me get to the place I'm at today, and the response that I get. Seeing the kids' faces when they get to meet me it's truly, it just makes it all worth it. And I think actually this year there's a strong chance we might actually be getting a table at WrestleCon, so you guys can come by, mark the Xtreme merchandise, take a picture with the title, and really don't overstay your welcome, but you can come meet the champ at WrestleCon this year. The way it's looking is that might happen.
How much would a picture with the title cost?
Oh, shoot. We haven't set prices, but, we're going to probably start around $100 and, work our way down, but it's a picture with the champion and the title that is held so prestigious.
That's a bargain.
I'd say so too.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this then: of all the people that you've had the pleasure of talking to, who would you say has been, who has given you the best interview in your opinion?
Oh man, I've had the opportunity to talk with a bunch of the boys, and some of the I'd say one of the interviews that I enjoyed the most was probably Matt Hardy. First season. I ended up becoming the third Hardy brother that day, and he's just a good guy, and I just hate what's happening with him. He's broken, and it's just really sad that Impact Wrestling hasn't done anything to try to fix him. But I see him being fixed eventually, hopefully, and But yeah, Matt Hardy was a really fun time, and there's a lot of great interviews that I'm looking forward to everybody checking out with the second season. That were just as exciting, in my opinion.
I think one of the interviews, or I would say set of interviews that stands out to me would be your set with Joey Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. My deal with Joey Ryan has been quite depressing. When we first met in season 1 of On Your Mark, things were very promising. We started a tag team that could have toured the world, and it should have. And the Badass Buddies should have and could have been the biggest thing in wrestling. But Joey's wiener got the best of him, and ever since his wiener blew up and he got real popular because of his stupid wiener and his girl that he tags with like an idiot, he's kind of forgotten where his bread is buttered, and he's drifted, and he's ruined our friendship, and he broke me with Joey Ryan. I'm broken Mark, and anytime I'm around Joey Ryan, I'm a different person, and I can't help it. So if we were to ever cross paths again, I'd put the challenge out there. It's on our YouTube channel right now. Anytime that Joey Ryan wants to, he can come into the backyard for the first insertion, and I will fix what we had, and it's going to take beating him senseless to make him realize what this could have been. But the challenge to Joey Ryan has been placed, the first insertion, and we'll see if it ever happens. But he's a big deal now with his wiener and everything, and he forgot his roots, so to say.
So would you say that Joey Ryan has been the biggest jerk that you've interviewed then?
I have to think about that. No, I'd say Adam Pearce was a big old meanie.
Yeah, he didn't seem to be having too much fun.
Yeah, Adam Pearce was a big old meanie. John Morrison ended up passing me out. Joey Ryan, he's getting a little full of himself, and not to say that he's been mean. He's really hurt my feelings because we were the Badass Buddies. We were awesome. We never had a match together, but we there was so much that I had planned for us, and
yeah, he's a little cocksure.
It's just sad, man.
Did he ever come up to your place and pick up his gear that he left there?
No, I still have this stuff. I don't know if I should eBay it or whatever, but I look at it a lot, and I just think about it and what I don't know, just what could have been with the Badass Buddies. But everybody can go watch the train wreck that it has turned into on the On Your Mark YouTube channel if they want.
Hey, I get it. I mean, we all have that one pairing that we really think is going to work, and we think about it longingly, and we just, fondness. Right. And mine is the Deep Six podcast.
Yeah.
This show that we're on now.
So, Mark, I just got a couple more things to ask you before we end our time with you here. First, really something that's
you guys paying for these prepaid minutes on my track phone?
We'll send you a reimbursement check.
I have a prepaid gift card I can send you.
Great. Then we can talk for as long as you want.
Actually, do you care for Wendy's gift cards?
That's even better.
But okay, so one of the questions that I've been tossing around in my head and trying to figure out is what the E in Mark E Xtreme stands for.
Does it need to stand for anything? I mean, Mark E, Xtreme. It stands for everything. I am everything in wrestling. I am everything that a wrestler should be. I encompass every division. I encompass everything that is needed in wrestling. The E stands for everything. But, it stands for everything and nothing at all.
Yeah, the name was a curiosity point for me, too. I just thought it was inappropriate to ask. But, mine was more like, this guy's really famous, and, I just don't know if I want to go there. And mine was more like, you seem like you're really related to some, famous people. Are you related to Marky Post?
I am not familiar who that is.
She was on Night Court. Marky Post.
I don't know. What is that?
It was a TV show from the 80s about judges.
What about...
I don't have cable.
What about Marky Mark? Are you related to him?
I'm not familiar.
How about Paulie Dangerously?
Paul Heyman.
No, this was his brother. Paul E. Dangerously.
I'm not familiar with him.
Are you familiar with Paul Heyman?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Paul Heyman.
Are you guys friends? He's into the extreme stuff.
I've reached out many times to Paul Heyman on Twitter because I think that I'd be an ideal candidate as a Paul Heyman guy, but I haven't heard anything back from him. He's a busy guy, though. I get it. He's a advocate of Brock Lesnar, but the offer's on the table. But I've never had he's never had the pleasure of talking with me just yet.
That's a shame. I'm sure it'll happen for you someday, though.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, Mark. So before we let you go here, why don't you let us know where we can find you on Twitter and those sorts of things so the people at home can find you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at OIM Show, and then you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/OnYourMarkShow. We've got weekly videos, and season 2 of On Your Mark starts February 15th. We've got some great guests lined up, including Ethan Carter III, Matt Morgan, Blue Pants, Christy Hemme. We've got a great lineup for season 2. And, other than that, we've got videos weekly, so go subscribe to our channel. Go tell your friends because it's a travesty that someone like me, a world champion for 15 plus years, only has 2,500 subscribers on YouTube because I should have a lot more, I think. Don't you guys?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Truthfully. And we'll put links to your Twitter and your YouTube channel. We'll put all of that in the show notes for this episode. So hopefully we can help you grow your audience because, like you said, it is a travesty that someone of your stature has only 2,500 subscribers.
Yeah, well, the world is full of idiots. When you got John Cena with over 2 or 3 million Twitter followers, you just know that this world is just full of idiots. But hey, guys, I was excited to come on your show. How you guys help me out getting some more subscribers and scratch each other's backs, and hopefully scratch hard enough that they bleed.
It's one way of looking at it, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Mark, it was a pleasure talking to you, and maybe we'll have you back again sometime here on the Deep Six podcast. How's that sound?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm a very busy guy, but you change your tone, Steven, and maybe I'll come back soon.
I'd really love it. Don't let Steven dissuade you from coming back. I enjoyed having you here.
Okay. Well, then we'll see what happens soon. No promises, because I'm very busy. I'm a world champion, and I run a company and a successful YouTube channel that should have more subscribers. And I hate John Cena, but we'll see about coming back.
All right, so we'll let you get back to that shake weight class.
Okay, great. Thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye.
So, the strangest thing happened during the break. From the sky, a wormhole opened up and just decided to suck Matt right out of his seat and into the said wormhole. Then the wormhole closed, and now Matt is gone. I don't know how to explain what I just witnessed, but Matt is no longer here. If any of you out there wind up finding Matt, if, per se, this wormhole drops him in the middle of your living room, naked, please let us know. We're very worried. We just want Matt back here safe and sound in one piece or multiple pieces, but as few pieces as possible. Please, we just want our co-host back. Anyway, I guess I'm going to attempt to go through this outro solo now while I sit here and ponder where in the fabric of space and time Matt went to. Anyways, you just heard our interview with the one, the only, Mr. Backyard Entertainer himself, Mark Xtreme, emphasis on the E, who of course is the host of On Your Mark with Marky Xtreme. Go figure. That you can find over on youtube.com/onyourmarkshow. And the second season drops Wednesday, February 15th, as Mark told us earlier. Guests on the second season of his show will include Leva Bates, Christy Hemme, Matt Morgan, and even TNA Impact's own Ethan Carter III, EC3. So don't miss that. Be sure to go on over there and subscribe. Like I said, link in the show notes. Now, I would like to come back to what was discussed on the last episode of the Deep Six podcast, where we spoke with our friends Art Miles and Greg Moan of the Gods and Monsters podcast. For those of you who remember, the mall that housed Gods and Monsters decided to close up shop and gave everybody located within the mall 2 weeks to get out. So that left Gods and Monsters scrambling to find a new location, and we've got an update for you. They've found a temporary home in the Orlando Crossing Shopping Center, located just about 2 minutes up the road from where they were before at 5421 International Drive, of course, in Orlando, Florida. Now, I've also heard that they will be having a grand reopening celebration on Saturday, February 25th, where you can buy all of your comics, you can buy toys, and all other kinds of nerdy pop culture items that you've come to expect from the fine folks over there at Gods and Monsters. I also hear that there will be tables set up at this event with vendors and local artists, as well as open gameplay tables with tons of games that you can demo before you decide to buy them and bring them home to enjoy in the comforts of your own living room. There will also be DJs and face painting. I think Medieval Times is even sending over some of their nights for photo ops and things of that nature. So think of it as a convention atmosphere within the confines of a comic book store. Should be a good time. Also, our friends Art and Greg will be live streaming through the Gods and Monsters Facebook page throughout the duration of the event. So head on over there if you can't join them physically, and join them digitally. Be sure to let them know that Steven from the Deep Six podcast sent you their way. But now, I'm going to try and figure out where Matt went. But before I do that, let me give you some information on the Deep Six podcast. Of course, come back next week where hopefully, if we get Matt returned to us safe and sound, we'll have another episode of the Deep Sports podcast. That should be episode 5. Can't exactly tell you what's going to be on that episode, but it should be a good one as long as, like I said, Matt's back. Then come back in 2 weeks for the next episode of the Deep Six podcast. Don't exactly know what's going to be on that show either, but there's going to be a show, so don't miss it. Of course, you can subscribe to the Deep Six podcast over on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Podbean. Subscribing is free and is the only way you can ensure you'll get the latest and greatest Deep Six and Deep Sports podcast content as soon as it's published. On top of that, don't forget to follow us through our social media channels, such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Of course, you can find us on there both at Deep Six Podcast and at Deep Sports Pod. You can also find links to all of those, plus so much more, over on deep6podcast.com. So for Matt, for myself, Steven, that's been the Deep Six Podcast. We'll see you next time.